If you enjoyed this video and want to support the channel, you can for $1 a month over on Patreon. Thank you. And still sticking to the Game Awards, we were treated to a double whammy, which is it was teased during E3, and we got nothing from it other than just running and a weird looking boost.
It was from the Sonic Central thing. That's what we got.
Oh, Sonic Central, yeah. That was like just after.
Yeah.
And we was given a small tease. We got a weird digital looking boost, and that was it. We got nothing from it. And ever since then, it's just been, is it this? Is it called Sonic Rangers? It was someone doing tease something like Sonic Rangers on 4chan. You know, the number one place for leaks.
Yeah, number one place for leaks and bullshit at the same time.
Yeah. So, eventually, a lot of people call it Sonic Rangers. It's going to be this. Then there was a trademark for Sonic Frontiers that we talked about last time.
Yeah. Now
I was dubious. Yeah. It sounded like an RTS title to me.
Yeah.
A mobile game.
Yeah.
So I get that was the thing. Now it's a pinch of salt. It could be something else. It could still be Rangers or whatever. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yeah. Although we did say, obviously, like, you prefer, Frontiers over Rangers at least, because you'll never get the Power Rangers reference out of your head.
No, I wouldn't. But yeah, now looking at it, now we've got the trailer, shows a bit more, not really gameplay, just in-game environments.
Yeah, I mean, what we got was like a couple of CG stuff and then basically an overview of the environments that we're going to be running in.
Yeah, and just one line, which is Sonic over here. That's it.
Yeah.
We got nothing else. Everything else was outside of the trailer, which we will go into. But what we see, it's like Sonic Frontiers is the title. It is about exploring these lands called Starfall Islands. And Sonic's friends apparently are captured. Eggman,
you mentioned, apparently a Polygon release supposed to be the synopsis of the game, but then they took it off sort of very quickly afterwards.
Yeah, before everyone screenshot it 2,000 times and sent it everywhere else. But on the website, it says New Realms this is a open zone game, which I think is hilarious.
I mean, if they're going to trademark, I still remember when Crash Bandicoot did like free romping. That was their way of saying, free roaming. But yeah, open zone. Yeah, it's a cute thing. Go on.
Yeah. So, and like explore new realms. So yeah, it is going to be an open world Sonic game, which I did a couple of videos on this. Okay. At first, I don't think Sonic has the same game philosophy that can work with Mario or Zelda. Sonic is very much momentum and flow. Even though Sonic Unleashed, for example, which pretty much started the whole boost thing. A lot of people say Rush, but as far as 3D boost, it was Unleashed.
Yeah.
Well, arguably Sonic Heroes, technically, with the special stages. I'm getting out of hand. The environments, when you stop and take a look, is very fucking beautiful. But barely anything is actually worth noting. You're just speeding ahead and you're just, reacting. Like, press B, boost here, home and attack. Keep going. Congratulations, you shaved off 2 milliseconds of your time. B rank. I swear to God, Act 1 of Windmill Isle fucks you over because you can do that perfectly and you still won't get an S rank.
Oh dear.
I still have not got an S rank on that damn level.
Now you worried me that they're still going to keep the ranking system for this game. Oh god. Well, we'll wait and see.
I doubt there's going to be a ranking system. I think it's just maybe some ranking systems in a time trial. Like, run through these gates and come back. That'll be something.
Yeah, but
that's the other thing as well. A lot of people say, the worlds look too barren. It's like you'll see a lot of buildings and landscapes, but nothing's there. Well, here's the thing though, we're still not going to get it for over a year.
Again, I'm pretty sure that this is just for what they've done, because apparently both this and the Japanese website actually shows just more extended footage of just the camera panning on the environments. And like people said,
it's just the world itself. Like you see Breath of the Wild, when you first saw it, it wasn't really much of anything. It's like, where's the content? Where's the
I'm pretty sure that's the thing. They just want to show off, here's the world, this is how big the world's going to be for Sonic to run in, and then when we get nearer to actually showing you off the gameplay stuff,
which will be probably in E3.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm pretty sure they're going to put in all the other stuff like enemies or ring trails.
We will get our vertical slice of the game.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, going back to basically how the trailer was. I mean, again, we do get like little snippets of the CG stuff. So again, Sonic's running from supposed to be something coming in the forest. We see these 3 pond things, and as you said, there is a voice telling Sonic to change course at the last minute. Again, I've heard a lot of people kept talking about some people thinking either that's Tails or Raimi, but again, one of the things
in the subtitles, it was titled Amy was speaking, and it was Cindy Robinson saying it as well.
Right.
Even in a Japanese version, it is Amy's voice actress.
Right. Okay, so 2 things. One is, we mentioned last time when we talked about this, we mentioned somebody had supposedly played the game or play tested it and mentioned that supposedly there was a Ghost Girl character that was supposedly going around, like a Navi character, effectively, like, do this, Sonic, and go here, and blah, blah, blah. And also the fact that remember ages ago when apparently we heard most of the actors were leaving, not only Roger, but Colleen and Cindy, most of the main actors were leaving apart from Mike, and now they're, I guess, coming back, or they're staying for whatever reason.
Well, considering most of the cast were replaced in Team Sonic Racing, which is only 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Which half of them I don't fucking like. I didn't like Knuckles' voice. I didn't like Amy's new. I think it was still Cindy. I didn't like Silver's voice was fucking annoying, and I like I can't remember her name, Erica something. She voices Blaze now.
Okay.
Like I like her, but she's not Blaze. She really isn't.
Yeah. But again, this has been a weird ongoing thing, is that whether or not who is staying, who's coming back, or who's getting replaced. So it has been a bit of an oddity with voicing these characters now in game-wise, because again, apparently Colleen, while she's doing Movie 2's Tails, she isn't going to be doing Prime, apparently.
No.
So it does make me wonder, is Movie 2 going to be the last thing she does as Tails, and then someone's going to take over, presumably for Prime, or even, this new game?
Well, here's the thing, though, because Prime is multiverse, it could be completely different Tails.
True. But yeah, and like I said, we had that. We do get the weird digital, after trail that Sonic does. Presumably in the trailer, it shows off these, 3 prom missile things come out, blow up, and then it sort of, I guess, helps credit for him, in a sense. Of course, in the synopsis, it does say that's supposed to be Eggman's messing around with some AI thing that causes this massive crazy stuff.
Yeah, the AI called Sage, which is just hilarious.
Yeah, again, I did say, oh, haha, I see what you did there.
Use AI program called the Sonic Amateur Games Expert. Wait, what? Sorry? Sage? Really?
Hell, it proves that Sega and Sonic team, they know what the fandoms are like, I guess.
Yeah, apparently this technology is a lot more delicate than they seem.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I can take over this. No, you can't. It's that old trope where Eggman finds something and it turns against him.
Yeah, it's the whole, here's a super awesome power I can use, and then it either cocks up for him or it overtakes him, kind of.
At least hopefully be better than what the fuck happened with Lost World.
I mean, to be fair, that was Sonic's fault, really. Let's be honest.
That was completely in character, though. It's just at the end, it's like, oh yeah, I kind of defaulted. Like, it was never going to blow up anyway. I just wanted to get you here so I can kill you.
Yeah.
Like, come on, really, man?
Yeah, I don't know. But speaking of which, we should mention one thing they did officially say is that all people, who's writing the new game?
Ian Flynn.
Yes,
Ian Flynn. Of the Sonic comic fame.
Yeah, Sonic Comic, Archie, and IDW. Is he like the main writer for the IDW comics?
He is one of the head writers, yeah.
Okay, right. So so apparently everybody's kept bitching about the games are terrible, they're not good writing. Is like, well, they finally got
They've been wanting Flynn for Sega since 2018.
Yeah.
They've been wanting this for a long time. It's like at the the tail end of Forces' hype. When everyone's played it, so it's like, just get Ian Flynn to write it, okay? And okay, we've got someone who knows Sonic, has been writing for Sonic for a long time, knows the character inside out, gets direct connection to Sega to a point now he's working with Sega.
I mean, funny enough, he's also going to be, because I think he's going to be a producer as well for Prime as well. I'm not sure to what context, but he is involved with that as well.
A story supervisor.
Yeah, so effectively both Ian and Tyson are kind of the golden boys Sega keep, I hope they feed and bed them well, because it's like these two seem to be the go-to people.
Just rehire Christian Whitehead and Stealth, and there you go. The ensemble of the greatest fan team ever.
Yeah. maybe another.
I know a lot of people. I know there's some people out there who's going to say, "Well, why you get Flynn? Why you get someone else? Why do you have the other writers back?" Well, first of all, Ken Pontac and Ron Gaff, good writers, not good at Sonic.
Yeah, I mean,
they had no idea what Sonic was. They had to research on that, and that was for colors.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you have to remember as well is that they were mainly known for comedy writers, so obviously they did comedy, and they would say the best stuff is like a lot of like the announcement stuff, Eggman's announcement in colors, that's brilliant, and I would say most of the Allbot and Qbot stuff is probably their best stuff, just in terms of simple shenanigans. And again, I think one of them was interviewed a while back, and they did say the way it worked was, you have to remember, it was, again, the games are made in Japan, all right? This game is actually made by Sonic Team in Japan, so we know this is the big game they've been working on for ages. And what they would do is that they would get flown over to, say, again, meet with Yukazar, and they would kind of go back and forth, all right, here's the premise of the game, and then you can add some stuff and maybe change some lines. And that's how it was. It was a collaborative effort. It wasn't just, oh, you go off and write you just make the story and then make it stupid. It's like, no, they have to answer to Sonic Team really first.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like the writing styles, I would say Forces was as close as they got. But it was just one note, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't overly wacky, and it wasn't overly, hills and valleys. Like, here's comedy, here's drama. Here's comedy, here's drama.
Yeah. And again, you have to remember they have their own, I think Sonic Team have their own, internal script writer for the games as well. So, again, it's like 3 different people in that case for that game.
Yeah, I still say Lost World's the worst story. I don't care what anyone else says, honestly. You can like Lost World's story if you like, if you enjoy that kind of tone, but it just jumps around to a point where it's like, you don't know what the hell's going on. At least Forces, I can understand it. It's one note, there's no stakes at hand, but you know what? It's engaging enough to mean you want to keep playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, apparently I'll be interested to see what the dialogue will be for this game, because like I said,
and the thing I was going to say originally, before I got sidetracked, was Flynn does have haters. We all know that.
Yeah,
ruin Sonic and all that. It's like, look at it this way. He knows Sonic. He has lived Sonic for a good part of maybe 2 decades now.
I mean, put it this way.
Maybe certainly shorter than that, maybe 10 years, maybe just 15, but he has worked on Sonic for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
So compared to any other writer, you could have got the original writers for maybe the scenario writer for Black Knight, which would have been good.
Like I said, they have their own writers of Sonic Team as well, so collaboration, guys.
Yeah. A bit of a downside as well is the director for the game. It's the same guy who directed was the game designer for Forces, Colors, and Lost World.
Yeah, so he's been around for a bit. Again, I know I remember this was back on TCSZ News. Remember that when that was actually a site you can go to? Yeah, I remember someone did post about, like, I'm worried about Forces, and that was like the big, oh no, he's directing it. Didn't he also work on 06? It's like, again, you have to remember, obviously a director's job is to make sure the game all works together. I mean, you can always argue about, did it overall work? Their job is to oversee everything, does the direction, the gameplay, art design, that's the job of a game director. They have to oversee every aspect of it.
Yeah, it was the lead game designer for Black Knight and Secret Rings.
Okay.
He was a supervisor for Sonic 4, and he was the director of Colors, Lost World, and Forces.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I mean, I would say, put it this way, with this game, obviously, it's another big leap for them, because, again, I would say Lost World was the last time where they took a bit of a chance. They didn't go for, let's just make, Unleash Colors Gen again. They actually said, no, let's try something really new and different for this game.
Yeah, and another thing as well I can call out as well. I fucking called it. Also, Sega, you owe me fucking money. Again.
God, the checks are going to be piling up at this point.
They will be. Like, I did a proposal of doing I don't think Sonic could work open world, but honestly, it depends on how you actually structure it as a game. Yeah. Like, Breath of the Wild seems to be the only open world game that actually allows you to go straight to the end from the beginning.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's like, when we go through the actual game itself, it's like, okay, here's 4 major points you can go to. Whatever fucking order you want to go in, do it.
I will say
it allowed you that freedom, and it's a lot more creativity, and still a lot of creativity being found within the game itself. With Sonic, it still needs a bit more structure to it.
Yeah, Now, we were pointing out that we did talk about this before, like open world sort of Sonic game things. We talked about like Utopia and Omens, those type of games trying to do that. And we did say like, by all accounts, they're done by fans. And like I said, they're great showcases to what if. But again, it's the case of what is Sonic Team actually going to take this concept, because as you said, they need structure. They do need like some sort of course in the game. Like you can still have like, again, as I've been looking at this, my mind's been racing, like all the various things they could do. So the one thing I made you think if they could do like mini challenges, like get to this area in 1 minute or something, and you have to go through the forest and then go off the, run up the cliffside, jump off, hit down the ground, spin dash.
Yeah, like I was thinking of like New Donk City and Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you still got a little structure at the very beginning to go straight forward here, go around and do the boss, and there you go. And then it opens up, and it's still like little objectives, like go here, do a mini game, go here, talk to these people, and find all the collectible purple coins.
Yeah, like I said, those sort of mini, and again, loads of open world games do that. They're like, here are mini quests to like do a quick challenge or whatever. And again, it's like I'm pretty sure they would put that in this game anyway.
Yeah. So in my open world proposal, if any of the actual things I listed in there appear in this game, you owe me. Also, I called out the fact that this is going to be a completely new game as well, because the structure of it was, hey, we've got Adventure 1, Adventure 2, because they both generally the same thing and worked. They changed it with Heroes and Sonic the Hedgehog. It failed, went back to the original, 06, failed.
Yeah.
Then we had Unleashed, Colors, and Generations. That worked. Try something new. Lost World, failed. Went back with Forces, failed. Now we got something new.
Yeah. I will admit, one thing I've got to bring up is that obviously with go back to the landscapes, when I first saw this, I mean, there people are going to say, oh, it's Breath of the Wild landscape. But it was like, my first reaction to it was like, this is Shadow of the Colossus. Like, the environment reminds me a lot of Shadow of the Colossus. Like, you've got these big open areas and like old, presumably these ancient buildings from a forgotten civilization. It's like, I'm getting very Shadow of the Colossus vibes from it. In fact, the trailer.
A lot of people get Breath of the Wild vibes. It's like, that's the only one you think of because it's more recent memory.
I know, but it's like, for me, that was my go-to point. And again, the trailer does end with Sonic supposedly going off with something about the size of a Colossus anyway. So it's like, ooh, we're going to fight something that big, in a game with this open world.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah.
So, but even then, I don't think, also, it's just so, the trailer for me, I don't know, seems kind of out of place, especially for Sonic. I'm not saying that every trailer Sonic's ever had actually was, groundbreaking or rock anthem, jumping, quick cuts, explosions.
Yeah.
Sonic 2 trailer did. It just seemed so.
It's more just the first.
I can't figure the adjective really. It's just it showed the landscape, it shows bits of Sonic.
It's more of an impression.
It's not supposed to be an impression. Like here's the official announcement of Frontiers.
Yeah.
And the music though doesn't really fit. It's like it wants to be Breath of the Wild, but doesn't want to be.
Yeah, I listened to. Apparently, one of the series composer did do the music. Both this and T-Lubs apparently did the trailer music for this. Apparently.
Yeah, Mr. Loeb, but it doesn't really fit.
I know, but it's like apparently they're not worked on the game, but they've done the trailer music for it at least. I expected
Hyper Potions again.
Yeah.
No, it's just I don't know how to feel. Like I'm excited for the prospect of Frontiers.
All right.
I need that vertical slice of the game. I need to see the HUD, the gameplay, the environments. I know a little bit of story. I need to have that slice of slice of the game.
Yeah, I mean, there are, as we've mentioned, there are some like leaks apparently going back to like, again, a 4chan leak, supposed to go back to 2019. That's supposed to be lists the amount of things that we're going to do, which again, you can take them with a grain of salt. But one thing I really want to mention here, so this is something. So now, normally on this, I'm normally the Sonic Team apologist. I tend to be like, they're not as bad as any other game developer out there, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And, you could, I'm the more rambler, so that's my job. But I will say after watching this, my mind has been rushing to like all the things they could do with this, because it's like, put it this way, you remember when they showed off 06, and one of the things they showed off in like screenshots, they had that image of him jumping off this huge valley, like him jumping off the side of a cliff, and you had this entire landscape to go through.
Yeah.
Effectively, this is now saying, yeah, we're doing that now. We're taking that idea and we're actually going to do it for real. And the thing is like, we know, and I've always said this before, it's not like Sonic Team can't make games. I mean, obviously, if they've gone to this effort, I mean, it's like, what, 5 years supposedly they've been working on this game for now?
Possibly.
So supposedly, again, they've been working 5 years just to get this world done, and God knows if they're using like the Hedgehog Engine 2 for this. I mean, that'd be surprising if they didn't build an entirely new system for this game. But again, if anything, this is them like throwing the gauntlet out, saying, we are going to do open world Sonic game, and we are going to, we're going to show you what we can do. And again, I'm already thinking of all the ways they can make this game work. In fact, the one thing I keep coming back to in terms of the game I would sort of associate this to, or like kind of hope it plays, Liz, is weirdly Spider-Man, actually, the PS4's, the Insomniac Spider-Man game. Because think about it, one of the things about that game is just traversing the landscape of New York in that game is fun. The way of just, there are different tricks, there are different ways you can speed yourself up, you can, dive and then spin around and all this stuff. Again, I want that in this game. When I see this, I want to literally like run the side of a cliff, dive down, pull tricks, spin dash, roll up the gear, go off a ramp, and then fly into the air again. Maybe do like a quick trick system, and maybe the weird like, digital boost thing that we see, the after trail thing. Again, maybe that's something, again, if the game is going momentum based, that's something you actually build up and it actually gives you more energy to run. Again, I want that in this game. I want that because believe me, that's the sort of thing that you would think if you're doing an open world Sonic game, you have to, it's like, dude, we got to try this out. We got to prototype it. We got to try it out, see if it works. Okay, working it again, that type of stuff. And again, I do look at this and go like, I want that type of game. I want this game to be it because, again, we've heard rumors about it being a Breath of the Wild game for ages, and now they've actually shown off what they're trying to do. It's like, I will not accept I will not accept second best. I generally mean this. It's like, if this game comes out, and again, it could be crap. It's always the possibility. It could be a crap game. But I am expecting a lot from them this time. And if they don't deliver, I will generally be really annoyed.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be annoyed, but then
I know.
It's the same thing, though. You got to take a lot of stuff like this new prospect is basically with a lot of salt.
I know, and again, I know that in the end, I know it's unfair. I don't know that's their intention. Again, this is just me saying this out loud. But it's like when I see this, from what we've seen of the game so far, from just the shots and just video, it's like there's just so much they can play with, and it's like, come on, guys, if you're doing this, you've just got to go hog wild for it. Just absolutely go for it. Go crazy. Just really put your effort into this time. And like I said, I don't want to be the negative asshole. I don't want to be the guy who just says, oh, they're terrible and awful and they should be sacked and whatever. It's like, I don't want to be that guy. And like I said, if this game doesn't work, I probably will end up being that guy in the end. And that's a terrible thing to do. But it's like I said, I'm surprised that they've gone this route with this game. I mean, the fact is we kept bitching about, put it this way, one thing they've done definitely for this game, there's no Green Hill Zone. Absolutely. There is no nostalgia bending. There is none of that, remember this with a twist thing. Because I would say this, for anybody, again, after seeing Ghostbusters Afterlife, they do a lot of that in that film. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but there's a lot of that in that film. And believe you me, it's so good to actually for them to say, we're not going down that fucking route again.
So after 5 games, 4 games?
Well, longer than that. I mean, like from Sonic 4 to literally 4.
No, wait, no. For 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years we've had Green Hill.
We've literally had Green Hill, we've had the Death Egg Robot, we've had constant nostalgia.
We had Sonic 4 in 2010. So, yeah. 2010 and Sonic 4. Then Generations a year later. Then I think All-Stars Racing Transform. That was Seaside Hill, technically.
Yeah.
Then we had Mania, then we had Forces, Lost World, Mania, Forces. It was like we had a lot of Green Hill in the past decade alone.
Yeah, and the thing is, I've said this to people many times, it's like, believe me, there'll come a point where it's like, just doing that, people will end up hating the thing they love. If you just keep doing that, why should we care? Why should we bother for if you're not going to try anything new, why the fuck should we care?
Why do you keep giving me Cadbury's cream eggs? You like Cadbury's cream eggs? I like them for Easter only!
Yeah. But as I said, it's like, and another thing I should point out is, it's like, the fact it's called Frontiers is like, for the love of God, please, let's play as the fucking other characters, for God's sakes. I mean, if this game is meant to be, we're meant to save them. I mean, apparently one of the rumors, someone's got amnesia, so he doesn't remember what's going on, which I kind of hope it doesn't, because that's too much of a Breath of the Wild rip-off, honestly. But if you're going to go out and save Sonic's friends, it's like, can we play as them? For God's sake, you've got this world. For God's sake, I can totally see Tails flying about. I can see Knuckles traversing. You can do so many things. I mean, obviously, make sure Sonic's gameplay loop is great. Make sure the controls, the way traversing the level, that should be your main core. And if you get that right, and we get to play the other characters extras, that will do.
Yeah, just Tails and Knuckles. Like, Amy would be great, but
yeah.
I see her like
again,
still being a support character.
Yeah, I kind of view Amy as like, I mean, to be fair, I always think she needs to be part of the main, she's part of the main cast now. I mean, she's been around that long enough. And again, I wouldn't mind if Amy was playable, but like I said, it is time now to play these other characters now. It's like, you've gone literally a decade of just playing this main character for this long. Let us play as his goddamn friends for God's sakes now.
Yeah, like, what was the excuse for Sonic Episode 2? It's like, oh, if we had to make Tails playable, we had to redesign all the levels. Like, why didn't you? I played Sonic 4 Episode 2 as Tails by going into multiplayer mode and just not touching the second controller. Just occasionally hit the button. That's it.
Yeah.
And that was annoying. To be able to play as a small tidbit of another character.
Yeah.
And all we had was basically, here's a racing game, have fun. Like, fine.
I mean, this is, again, that's the problem, is that you've only used them in like the party games, racing, spin-offs, whatever. It's like, again, what's the point of having them if you aren't going to play them in the main games? You know, it's the same with Mario characters. Like, if you can't play as Luigi, if you can't play as, the various other characters, if they're only just for the spin-off games, what's the point of having these characters? What's the point of having this expensive cast if you can't use them?
Like, I understand it had to be for story, like Marine and Takao, but still.
Yeah. I mean, that's understandable, right? But it's like, if you're always putting in new characters for either the narrative or even gameplay stuff, it's like, if we can't play as any of the mainstay ones, it's like, no wonder why people kind of get sick of them, because if you only see them getting talking, that's where most of the stuff people say, oh, I hate them, I don't like them. And again, it's like the fact that now we got Ian Flynn about to be writing this. It's like the dialogue. I'm interested to know what the dialogue for this game is going to be, because I'll be surprised if it's going to be anywhere better than what we've had for the last decade or so.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait and see until E3. We'll probably get that vertical slice and the release date of holiday next year. So we're still waiting for a game to come out. Yeah,
I am kind of worried that's going to get pushed. I mean, not for the game's sake, but just for the rest of the planet Earth, if it's going to be okay by then.
I'm pretty sure it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Now, how about that remake of Sonic Adventure now?
Oh, yeah, that thing.